That's how it goes. Yeah, but I shouldn't need facilities. Right, I don't need facilities. Okay, good. I don't need facilities. I don't need facilities. Oh, change the title. Gotta make it trust. Plus trust is not black. Gotta make it black. We coming to y'all from the plantation this morning. Good morning, everybody. Plantation house. Plantation. Boom. I want to know, what do you trust? Who do you trust? What the hell is trust? Why? I don't really do any effort when I come up with things to talk about. I was talking to a brother on the thread this morning. He was telling me about Big Pharma. Because they're talking about vaccinations. So, of course, that led into a whole discussion of forced vaccinations. What do you believe on forced vaccinations? You say, well, if you're an anti-vaxxer, hang on, wait, you went too far. You stop at the forced part. You really don't have to go any further than that. All you got to do is stop at the forced part. You don't have to get into what are vaccinations and anti-vaxxers and all of that nonsense. None of that actually really matters. Because there's no such thing as an anti-vaxxer anyway, right? No such thing as an anti-vaxxer. You just have people who believe in synthetic vaccinations and people who believe in natural vaccinations. That's it. There's no anti-vaxxer. Everybody on this planet is vaccinated. It's either from the swamps and microbiology or from the big pharma. So I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I tell people all the time, I'm not anti-vax. I believe in natural vaccination. I think in the future we might have synthetic vaccination, but you got to get past your cronyism. As long as you got corporations that make big money by percentages and you call it an industry, not a scam, people will get sick and die. Good morning, everybody. Where the comments at? Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes it takes a lot to spin them. How's everybody? Have a good weekend this weekend. Plantation house.
I don't want to look at that.
You know, that's funny. They didn't even change the plantation house when you look at the White House. It actually, they didn't even change it. It looks just like a plantation house. But y'all get right on down there and stop voting for it again. All right, I had a good weekend. I had a good weekend this weekend. Oh, I planted a whole bunch of seed. I probably planted 1,000 things this weekend. I don't stop because the monkeys ain't getting any better at it. Oh, I didn't even share anything. Hang on, I'm sorry. I'm off running my mouth. Good morning, everybody. Brother Mark and Lori. What Lori say? Forced anything, all laws illegal. Thank you. Bob Marley, bottom line. You could have stopped at the forced part. It's not, it could be forced Twinkies. No thank you. Because the crazy thing is if you live in like a crony world, or you live in a world where everything needs energy and you are energy, you live in a land where everything's crony, and the people who actually make the products don't believe in the product, so they gotta buy the law so you'll take them. You know how stupid that is? All right, we got a problem here. Houston, I'm not seeing my comments. I'm not seeing the emoticons. What's going on here? I hate to have to do this. How come y'all just can't work? How come things just can't work? I'm trying to reauthorification. But I don't think you should trust Big Pharma, so I'm not anti-vaccine. Some vaccines, you're not gonna put them in me. All right, nigga. I put my password in. You're not gonna put them in me. As that brother Mark, yeah, that's when the revolution is done. You come on to my house and try to put a vaccine in me, see what happens. It's gonna be a pointless effort. I'm gonna tell you. The person you want vaccines to live in, that person ain't gonna be living. You are not putting none of that nonsense in me. All right, hang on. Try to get this going. Yes. Recognize authorization. There we go. Because yeah, it's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna force anything in me, and it has nothing to do with vaccines. You don't have any rights to do that to me. Ah, dang it. I hate when they do this. I'm gonna have to mess around and do comments and everything. Boom. I do want to look at the news today. I do. I say that every day, don't I? I want to look at the news. I do want to know what they're talking about. How come this didn't work? Press the button. Didn't work. Trying stuff, didn't work. Comments aren't there. I'm gonna have to do the backup. No, comments are there. What the hell? Now they're gone. You know what it was? I think it worked and it failed. Yeah, that's what it is. I broke it. User error. I should have been patient. Dag nabbit. Gotta be patient, people. Be patient. Let me try that again. All right, that's what it is. Y'all remind me next time. Just be patient. Just wait on it. All right, let me try to do that again. Boom, 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 boom. Password. Think. Hold on. I had to put a couple of sounds of it in there. I want y'all to know my password. I'm trying to hack this stuff. Good luck getting this one through. Oh. Well, yeah, they probably play with it, but how do you keep sending me all the security stuff? Yeah, I might have to do the backup commenting method. Let us know if this device is you. An unrecognized device tried to log in. You know it's me. Why do they do that? Yes, damn it, save the browser. You know it's me. You know Google and the AI and y'all all talking. Y'all know the draw sides. You know when I buy underwear, you know I don't buy underwear. You know I buy local. You know that I'm not feeling any of the nonsense y'all doing around the world. Stop asking if it's me. You know it's me. You know I know it's me. They just do this because I'm on the broadcast and AI's like, nah, we don't need to talk about that. Right. So that's that. We will have backup comments. I just gotta get it set up. Man, y'all so irritating. Western Medicine Act. Carolyn, is it medicine really though? Is it medicine? Is it medicine really, Carolyn? I love that word, medicine. Hang on, I'll get the backup comments. Medicine. Medicine. Is it medicine really? This one? Nope, not that one. This one? Nope, not that one. Oh, here it is, right here. Boom, it's that one. I think. Yeah, it's that one right there. No, yeah, it's that one. It's just in the background. Hold on. We gonna get it in a minute. Bring it forward. There we go. Medicine. What is medicine? I was having fun talking about the doctor stuff this morning. I can't believe y'all believe that stuff you do. There we go. Well, first of all, I guess this whole herd, I guess we're kind of on that. I'm not into herd immunity. He was a herd immunity. I'm not into that. Number one. I'm not into your herd. I'm not in your herd. I'm not in your herd. I'm on your planet, but I'm actually not in your herd. I'm not in your herd. I'm not in the Twinkie herd. I'm not in the chemical herd. I'm not, no. I don't think that's health. I don't think that's medicine. I think that's poison. I have no interest in it. I think y'all need a couple more years figuring it out. And don't say, trust the science. It's not science. Literally, it is not science. It's corporations trying to blind politicians because they actually don't believe in their product to force you to buy it. That ain't medicine. Not for me, dude. Not for me. My body evolved on this planet. It wants nothing to do with your medicine. And I'm glad that you think it's your medicine. You know what I mean? Because it's not mine. And I know Carolyn, I don't talk about it. It ain't my medicine either. That ain't medicine. Ain't no, that is a synthetic drug that you give to junkies. Buy a junkie. Dig this. Do y'all remember we were kids? Remember that saying? Don't get high off your own supply. Y'all remember that saying? What does that mean? Anybody? talking about trust. So, why don't I have a doctor? One, I don't need one. And two, I make my healthcare every morning. Make your healthcare, tell you something. It's my healthcare right here. I make my healthcare every morning and I drink it. All right, that's my healthcare. Two, don't get high off your own supply. We're a nation of junkies, and you have junkies selling to junkies. If you are already an addict, I don't need to hear from you. I might need your diagnosis because you got the equipment. Damn it if I get into an accident. Doctor. But short of that, hell no, I ain't going to Pookie for no, what am I supposed to do? I got an itch on my foot. Hell no, Pookie's a crackhead. I ain't going to no doctor for nothing. Hell no, I don't trust no doctors. I trust common sense. And if you are an addict, then you're going to make your patients addicts. I have no interest in the doctors. They on the same damn drug the people are. So what the hell do they know? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Sorry, nope, not me. Not medicine. You're a junkie selling to junkies because you paid the people for a dealer that's probably a junkie. Big Pharma. Why would you trust Big Pharma with anything? I don't trust them. I'm anti-vax. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm anti-synthetic anything made in a secret lab. I'm literally anti-Lex Luthor. Okay? If you live in a time where you have such massive corporations, they have the power of Lex Luthor, you don't need my support. I'm just anti everything that comes out your lab because your lab is secret. When will I trust Big Pharma? Well, when they're open source. That's the beginnings of it. The bare minimum, they're gonna have to be open source, right? Because I want peer review. I want everybody to read it. I want everybody to see who's lying. Like, let's not pretend that we're not just 3 weeks out of Pfizer being caught hiding the Alzheimer's cure or the potential cure. I don't trust them. Why would you trust anybody, anything? I love my mama to death. Hell no, I don't trust her with my health. that woman watched TV. When I was a kid, she fed me pig feet and scrapple and and cereal and Captain Crunch and Fruity Pebbles. She fed me all of that stuff. This is my mama. She loved me. She literally had me, y'all. She had me. She carried me around for 9 months and had me. And this woman loved me and she fed me Fruit Loops. All right, so if I can't trust my own mama with health, I can't even trust people who love me with health. Why in the hell? With a capital H. But I trust Big Pharma with my health. It's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Not me. Let me see. Don't eat the ingredients that are secret. Exactly, Lori. That's common sense to me. You look at the back of the package, you look at the ingredients. If you don't know what they are, don't eat them. This stuff is made in secret labs and they don't test half of it. Okay, now I have a song. Junkie Burn by Fear stuck in my head. But they're all junkies, Jeannie, and I don't trust them. Why would you trust Big War, right? Why would you trust? Big War runs the Pentagon. It's called the Department of Defense. Exactly what are they defending? Who are they defending? When did they defend them? Is there a defense portion of their resume? They're not defending anything because they're the Department of Offense, the Department of War. They label things in these departments, these cabinets in DC, the exact opposite of what they are because they know they have a gaslit, gullible population. The FDA is not protecting you from drugs administratively. Okay? They're giving you drugs. The Department of Education is not educating your children. I'm sorry, they're indoctrinating your children. It's the exact opposite. You can go down the list. Department of Homeland Security is not securing the homeland. They're securing you because you're on a plantation. Who do you trust when everything's a lie? Who do you trust when they buy the titles of things and people believe it? Who should we trust? Who else? CDC? Are they protecting us from disease? Are they protecting us from disease? Or are they not testing products that significant questions are being raised about? And they refuse. And again, once again, I'm not talking about the people in these organizations. I'm just simply talking about the trust in all of them. If the name is designed to gain false trust, why would you be okay with that? I'm not okay with that. I don't trust none of them. None of them. They're the exact opposite. Okay, the exact opposite of what they say they are. But I actually do want to look at the news today. I do want to look at the news today. Talking about conspiracies and yeah, conspiracy is an interesting word. I like that word because we live in a time where the conspiracy theorists are now under fire. If you, I messed up the thing. Oh, I messed up the comments. If you are a conspiracy theorist, I gotta do something different here. If you're a conspiracy theorist, you're now a domestic terrorist. And if that should be the sign, if nothing else, now is not a time to call voting mass dissent. Voting is completely not mass dissent. Hang on, let me get it straight up. This is a time where people need to get a clue and understand what's about to happen to you. Let me see. Chinese big pharma CEO who bought and killed cheap cancer drugs now owns the LA Times and San Diego Union Tribune. Exactly. That's my point, Patricia. They know what to do. If you have a product that you don't even believe in, but you want people to buy, you need a captive audience because nobody's going to believe it. Word of mouth is how things spread. Nobody's spreading word of mouth. Man, I ain't got that vaccine, man. That didn't help me. Ooh, I'm feeling good, baby. You get that vaccine? That's not happening. It ain't never happened, right? They get the vaccine, and the people who don't feel anything, perhaps that it doesn't cause any obvious damage, they don't say anything. And the people who come out, they take their kid in, and the kid comes out, and the kid can barely talk. The big kid can barely walk. And they're like, the vaccine did this. And the nurses tell you. The funny thing, the doctors tell you too. And again, it's not anti-vaccine because we could be talking about headache medicine. We could be talking about procedures and chemotherapy. It's all of that crap. You can't trust any of it. Any of it. And I find it highly interesting that the people who tend to try to get you to trust it are the people who are involved in it. Trust the process. Why would I trust the process and you work for Big Pharma? I used to work for Big Pharma, and when I was in Big Pharma, I trusted the process. And I want other people to trust the process too. Why? Because I wanted to retire. I had to convince myself that this stuff isn't a lie. It's all a lie, and it's always been a lie. If you work in those industries, hell yeah, you're going to trust them. Why do you think your politicians tell you to trust the process and trust the science? Because their retirement is literally based on these corporations. They give them the money to write the laws, and the politicians, that's their job. Well, I say I don't blame them. I don't blame them. The problem isn't them. The problem is the system. The problem is the system that we keep. And we can end it. We just choose not to. Right? So that word trust, we literally live on a slave plantation called the United States of Rothschildtation. Why would you trust anything in a crony land where the cronies own everything? They buy the names, they buy the media, they buy the law, and they tell you, trust the process. You can't trust the process. These are crooks and criminals, and they're lying to you. That's why they buy the media. Thank you, Patricia. That was a good example. All right. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't trust nothing. I don't trust my mom. I don't trust my brother. I don't trust my sister. You trust people for what you can trust them with. I don't even trust my kids. I don't trust my kids. Hell yeah, I got some Twinkies. I every now and then I bring Twinkies in the house and I hide them. They found my hiding place. So now, yeah, but again, I drink my smoothie. I'm healthy. You're not paying for my health care. I drink my health care. None of y'all, none you have paid anything on my health care because I don't take none of your drugs. I'm not in your herd. So every now and then, because I don't get sick, I can eat a donut or Twinkie because you ain't paying for it. That's what healthcare is. You eat your healthcare. You don't ask the people getting money from big corporations to give you healthcare. That's just damn stupid. All right. I want to look at the news. I do want to look at the news. I haven't looked at the news in weeks. I have no idea. I still don't know about the shooting in Philly. I don't know about the shooting in the other big shootings. I still don't know nothing about them. I don't need to know. Like I said, we're bombing and killing, murdering people all day long so they can give me a cup of coffee so I can look the other way, get upset when it's an American and not give a damn when it's nobody else. So I didn't even look at those things. But I need to look at the news because I'm curious as to what the hell is going on. What's going on? What's important for us to pay attention to? CBS Viacom merger? That's not going to be a good thing. Rick Sanchez, yeah, I don't even have to read the rest of the title. It says Rick Sanchez says CBS Viacom merge. You can stop right there. Stop. Viacom is too big to be with CBS. All right, they're too big as they are right now, and they're gonna merge and do something good for me. No, they're not. They're gonna merge. They're gonna cause problems. Hell no. And I know Rick Sanchez. He doesn't lie. Well, yeah, he does. I take that back. He does. Everybody lies. Everybody, because he works for RT, right? And where does RT get their money? Remember, the problem with the world is money. That's the problem, baby. That's always been the problem. RT has advertisers. And let's say RT gets advertisers, say Twinkie. Who owns Twinkie now? Still Hostess or a new company? Let's say Hostess owns Twinkies. And Hostess is buying ads on RT. Do you think RT is going to run with a story where Twinkies are killing people? Rick's got to retire too. Rick's got kids at home. He's got a mortgage. He's got a car to pay. This is why money breaks everything, because advertising is behind the media, right? So even RT isn't going to produce a report against one of their advertisers. And and what do you see on TV? What do you see on TV in between every single show? I have no idea what you see on TV. Because I don't watch TV, I don't have time for it, but I watch the internet. I watch my shows on the internet, and the commercials on the internet and YouTube, probably 60% of them are pharmaceuticals about something to put in your gut, your butt, or your foot, or something stupid like that. So if they're buying advertisement on these channels, so the janitor, the office lady, the secretary, the CEO, the managers, and everybody from the people who do the gardening to the people who clean and paint the buildings all get paid by a pharmaceutical industry. Do you think they're going to run with advertisement that says vaccines are causing problems, or headache medicine, or foot powder? No, they're not. Do you think they're going to tell you that the synthetic drugs that they sell are in all the water that you're drinking and cooking with? No. Are they going to tell you that glyphosate's falling out the rain in Honduras? Hell no, they're not going to tell you that. That's why I'm saying the news really isn't that important. Right? They all are beholden to some industry or some corporation, and they're not going to turn on them, because everybody there, there won't be an RT if they actually tell the truth about everything 100% of the time. The only reason I like RT is they're based out of Russia. They're designed to lie to Russians. They're not designed to lie to me. That's the only reason I watch. But I don't need to watch that, because big media is a problem. That's why all your friends and family dumb as a bag of bricks, because they watch the TV, and all the TV is owned by the corporations. But good example, Patricia. Thank you. Is the CBS Viacom merger bad for journalism? Okay, that's specifically yes, it is. Why is it? Because obviously journalists don't have a voice. They can't have a voice. They're told what to say. CBS tells them what to say. Viacom tells them what to say. So how the hell are they going to get together and they're going to have some freedom? They can actually tell us the truth of what's going on in this world. They're not. Max Blumenthal. I don't know nothing about that. Don't care about that. Let me see. Ousted Honduran president calls Hillary Clinton a mafia boss. Right, because she is a mafia boss. The Democrats don't care. They're going to vote for the next mafia boss, because they're not at a systematic level, they're not against mafia. Like I said, they're not against colonization, and the Republicans aren't any different. Same thing. They're all colonizers and killers. They're not against any of the principles. They just want to be the one toppling Honduras, so they can complain about people trying to immigrate and get away from there. All right, so that's interesting. But of course, she's a mafia boss. You know, I'm at the plantation. Did y'all not see the plantation? The Clintons literally got a plantation with slaves from the prison system during the Bushes when he was he was the governor of Arkansas. They literally had slaves from the prison system. I gotta show you the plantation. Did y'all see the plantation? I'm sorry, I do want to look at it. Can you imagine Bill and Hillary like watching TV when somebody released that picture, watching all them slaves out there cleaning up their garden and grass and stuff with their prison number? You know they even got rid of the guy who hired everybody. They got rid of him quick. They're like, oh no, we in trouble now. She's a mafia boss. You don't trust that. You don't trust the Democratic Party if it's dropping bombs on children. You don't trust the Republican Party if they're dropping bombs on children. They're literally not there in life, and you are human. You are life. They are there against you in that capacity. The whole 2020 politician thing. Are they good politicians? I think so. But it doesn't really matter. They'll never be in a position of power. They'll be in a position to cower, right? Because big industries run it all, and they make sure that all their politicians are at the top. You will never see a decent politician on TV for long. They literally don't give them microphones. And the funny thing is, it's the same thing with the doctors. You just go ask them off record. Okay? Well, not all doctors. Not all doctors. I mean, they'll tell you the truth. You just can't. You got to go to a doctor who's not a junkie. Go find yourself a doctor and say, hey, yeah, do you have a medicine cabinet? If they say no, okay, I got a question to ask you. This bald guy said I had to ask you a question. Is it safe? Are the medications safe? Are they all tested? I go ahead and ask him. He'll tell you off the record. Doctors, the healthy ones, they'll tell you. Find a doctor whose kids are healthy, they look healthy, and they're not on drugs. They're not smoking and drinking and chasing the pharmaceutical sales reps like someone who actually has their life together. And the doctors will tell you it's just a job. Take the politicians. They'll tell you if you get them off record. You get them off record, they'll tell you, yeah, big pharma runs it all. Big war runs it all. All the big corporations tell the tops of all of them what to do. And if you get a young, freshman, good sheet politician in there who wants to get in there and help America, they tell them what they can and can't say. The politicians will tell you, the few decent ones out there will tell you, they try to work across party lines and their party won't let them. Because it's all about money. You can't trust the parties. You can't trust none of them. None of them. Ask them off record. Just ask them off. That's all I'm going to say. Ask them off. Go ask a nurse off record. A nurse who wears that mask in the hospital. Like, go to the hospital. You know how they make the medical professionals, if they don't get the flu shot, they got to wear that mask. Just go walk around the hospital. You find a nurse with a mask on. You know she's one who didn't get the flu shot, and ask her. Go ahead and ask her. Say off record. Do the flu shots work? The only reason I don't believe in the flu shot because I literally worked with the people developing. Okay, I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, and off record, all the things I heard. Yeah, I used to go. Over to R&D. I worked R&D. Somebody had trouble with their computer before I ascended to the levels of slave management, and I got a few of my slaves of my own. As a supervisor and then manager, I'd go over there to the help desk. Well, what you need? Oh, well, my PC is not logging in or something not happened. Okay, I'm helping them out. The things that those scientists tell you. That's why I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And the politicians don't either. It's just a business. It's just a job. America's a corporation. That's all just a job. All right. Is that the Clinton estate? It could be, Sandra. I don't know. Wow, they made out pretty good according to the system standards. Yeah, well, it might as well be because, you know, all of this is, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Slavery never ended. They just wrote the 13th Amendment to make everybody a slave. As long as you're unpopular, you will go to prison. So now everybody has to work on a plantation. It's just not cotton anymore. It's cubicles. It's pharmaceutical engineering. You know, once again, the mules are nicer. They got air conditioning. The horses, they got radios, and the shacks got wall-to-wall carpeting. But you can't stop work. We're all slaves. Nothing's changed. You know. So from a metaphorical perspective, sure, that absolutely could be the Clinton plantation. It's funny to me, it looked like the White House. That's why I love the White House. And I think they kind of troll us with that. They didn't even change the color. They didn't even change the look to let everybody know you're slaves. Keep working. All right. What else we got? Oh, Trump's in the news. What did Trump do? He done did something, got everybody upset. They need y'all voting, so we need to see some Trump news. Trump wants to buy Greenland. Oh, we gotta watch that. We gotta watch that. We gotta watch that. Come on, we gotta buy Greenland, y'all. This works out well. Look at this. Zero sugar. Oh, let's look at this. Hang on. Calories, zero Monster, energy, zero Ultra. Don't ever drink that. Don't ever put it in your body. Don't do it. Don't do it unless you're drinking your smoothies. Don't drink that crap. I'm trying to tell you, the number one thing behind diabetes, all that damn sugar y'all drinking. Stop drinking the sugar. And anytime they try to market it to you like 0 calories, you need to ask what they replace the calories with. Just ask. Sugar, because the sugar industry good at that stuff. They did that before, right? With the whole all the carcinogen sugar. You don't trust nothing like that. Whatever they market to, you know it's the exact opposite. The word is trust. That's the word of the day. Don't trust it.
It's a great story. You're going to love this story. President Trump, wait, let me put my anchor voice on for this one. President Trump is reportedly looking into buying another country's territory. Greenland. What? Special correspondent for news here with Rick Sanchez, Michelle Greenstein, is joining us now. So wait. Trump wants to buy Greenland?
That's right. Sources are telling the Wall Street Journal that he's asked the White House to look into possibilities into buying Greenland.
Serious?
Yeah, that's right. That's serious. And let's actually take a look at Greenland just to start with, right off the bat.
All right. First of all, everything on the planet is stolen. You can't own anything. All right. All you're doing is you have it for a minute. Everything's stolen. All lands are stolen. You don't own anything. All right. You're a criminal because you bought something from somebody who stole something from somebody who claimed they had a right to sell it. So this idea that we can buy Greenland, you can't buy Greenland. You can't buy land. Okay. These things don't exist. So let's like
where it is.
Yeah. Let's take a look at what it looks like.
As if America didn't cause enough problems. I'm processing what the world looks like with America over here and Greenland over here, and like little American flag in Greenland. We're literally ending the human race. We're destroying all ecosystems all over the planet because we're an oligarchy. And it's a good idea for us to spread and get more land. We should have
This is the world's biggest island. It's autonomous Danish territory, and it's the only self-ruling part of the Kingdom of Denmark. What's interesting is that even though it's technically part of North America, as you can see by this map that we're about to put up here, its politics are very much linked to Europe. So their own...
Another point. Looks like the water is fresh. It looks like it's got bubbles in it and it's aerobic. America can't have it. Look in the distance, I see some trees. Look like some trees, might be some monkeys or something. There might be wildlife. There might be an ecosystem. I don't think it needs glyphosate. I don't think it needs U.S. management at all. I think right now all the deers and elk and monkeys, I know, he said monkeys in Greenland? The bugs and bees and everything, like, hell no, America wants to do what? They can't even manage their own land. Like, how stupid is it? If you can't even manage your own land, if your own citizens hate you, if your trust for your Congress is like, what is congressional trust? Like 2% now? Who even knows who these people are? Nobody wants any of these people. But you can't manage your own home. You can't manage your own slave plantation, but you want to buy more land.
Government decides much of the domestic policy, but foreign policy is actually
water
run
blue.
by...
Look, right there, it's blue. America can't have that. That water will be purple. The water will be red and purple with like fish with 3 eyes and manatees with feet. No, America can't have that.
And it relies on $591 million in subsidies from Denmark every year.
Does anybody live there?
Yeah, of course.
Besides sheep, of course.
So not a whole lot of people live there, which is why many are saying, oh, this is just a joke by Trump. He doesn't really want to buy it. But let's...
Look, it's houses. They look like Lego houses, but they're not. It's houses to everybody. We need to send some emails, everybody. We need an email campaign. Everybody, what's Greenland's email things in the GR or something like that? GN, I don't know. GL, and y'all need to start sending emails now. Greenland, y'all need to move. You need to get on your way home, baby. Get some change of address forms and figure out where the hell you gonna go, because our slave plantation coming for you.
think about why he might want to buy it.
Good question.
And this is not just
I like when you ask
Trump.
yourself your questions, by the way.
Great question, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Let's take a listen. Here's why one might want to buy Denmark if you're coming from the perspective of the United States, because this is not just President Trump, right? He's speaking for the office of the U.S. So there's lots of natural resources there. We've got iron, we've got zinc, we've got gold, we've got uranium, and we've got oil. A lot of this is untapped because, as we know, the island is blanketed by a sheet of ice, but that doesn't mean that it cannot be tapped once global warming starts to do its trick, as it already has begun doing so. But the Greenland
And they don't mean essential oils. They mean the oil that's killing everybody.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs responded to these rumors this morning. Take a look at this tweet. They said, Greenland, yes, is rich in valuable resources such as minerals, the purest water, ice, fish stock, seafood, renewable energy, and is a venture tourism. So they're kind of using this as a chance to get in the news.
Why does the U.S. Pentagon want pure water? I don't know, because there's no pure water in the United States. They want pure drinking water for them. They realize they poison, piss, and put Viagra and Ritalin in everybody's water and Prozac with the pharmaceutical industry because we trusted them and we trusted the politicians they bought. People they about to go out and trust now. What's today? 2 months, but they can get that trust vote on that. So hell no. No. You can't have green.
We're open for business, but not for sale. But like I said, because Denmark is actually the entity that's controlling the foreign policy of Greenland, it might not matter so much what Greenland's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says as much as what Copenhagen says. So that's another interesting aspect here. So we have to talk about the relationship between the U.S. and Denmark. We can't forget that the U.S. already Air Force presence on the island at Thule Air Base.
So right, so this sometimes, well, just like we talked with Max Blumenthal, the reason for the United States intervention in Honduras has a lot to do with the fact that we wanted to have a bigger air base there. And
that's right.
We do.
And we want to have...
All right, I'm done with that. I'm sorry. I'm not that interested. I saw what I needed to see. No, we can't buy Greenland. We can't buy Greenland because we can't take care of Blueland. We can't take a red, white, and Blueland. Hell no, you can't buy Greenland. But there's always something to it. And I could go and we could try to figure out what it is. And we never really would because these are oligarchs. They're not going to tell us what they're up to. I know people start firing at theories. What are they up to? Why does America want to buy Greenland? We'll never know. These things are not for us to know. Right? We are slaves on the plantation. I'm trying to get the comments back. There we go. We are slaves on the plantation. And what's going on, they'll never put in the media. Never. They'll never put enough information where you can figure it out. You know, that's what I finally came to. Is I used to look at the news, try to figure out what's going on. You're never going to figure out what's going on in the news. They're not going to let you. They own all of it. They'll let little bits and pieces of projects that they're wrapping up out, but they're not going to let you know the details of what's going on. Mm-hmm. All right, what else we got? Anybody say anything on that? I can drink the water in Finland's lake very pure. Yes, Christine, but they're not going to bring Finland Lake for water for you. Oh, wait, now you're over in Finland, aren't you? All right, where are you at? Yeah, America, but they're not going to Denmark to bring, or Greenland to bring any of the green lands for America. Now they're going to grow food over there for them. And they're going to force Americans to eat the apples and tomatoes and GMO corn that they grow here. The oligarchs ain't stupid. Let me see, too polluted. Yeah, Lori, too polluted. Like, that's big business. Destroying a planet's big business. Destroying ecosystems is big business. Everybody's voting for these people, so it makes sense to do that. Greenland's close to the Arctic. It sure is, and maybe it's for the aliens. I don't know. Let me see what's going on with that story. Brother John, I have no idea. And I don't think we'd ever find out from the news. All right, let's keep going. He walks into the room with 80% women and calls them fellas. Huh? Oh. All right, I'm not touching that, Patricia. I ain't touching that. I'm not going, not today. Is it 80% women? It's mostly women here. Why is it 80% women here? All right, anyway. We need to be wide, equal opportunity. We need to invite some males. We need a patriarchal perspective, as if the patriarchs haven't given their perspective on every damn thing anyway. All right, how U.S. not Russia stole the election. That's true, because the U.S. stole the election. It had nothing to do with Russia. I can't believe people still believe the narrative, but it's going to get votes, so I'm sure they're off saying Russia did it instead of the oligarch. Jesse Ventura, love that brother to death. What do you got to say? Our government ignores homegrown terror because it's not profitable. Right, well, it's not they ignore homegrown terror because when people are terrified, they vote for more government. They vote for us to take away the laws. Big corporations need more government, not less. That's how they literally buy laws to have captive customers. So as long as you're scared of your neighbors, they like that. So I don't think it's because, what did the brother say? It's not, well, yeah, I mean, it's not profit. Yeah, it's worse than not profitable. It is anti-profit. It is anti-profit when people get together and realize the scams in government. It's anti-profitable when people aren't scared. Fear is very profitable. So that's why they don't do anything about no mass shootings and the mental illness, because they want you to be scared of your neighbors. As long as you're scared of your neighbors, great things can happen. They keep the plantation great again because you're scared of everybody. Russia's master plan for Persian Gulf. Okay, well, I'm sure they got a master plan because America has a master plan for the world. It's not even America's plan because America literally doesn't have a government. We're run by Rothschild, Rockefellers, and central banking. What is this? Why should you worry about Japan, China owning so much of the U.S.? Why should you worry about Japan when China's owning so much of the U.S.? This is true news because China owns a lot of the U.S., right? Y'all can't see the thing right there. China is buying up land in the United States. Why? Because America's about money. It has nothing to do with you. You think America, that's why I ain't voting. I know every day I say, there's a reason why I'm not voting because I don't have a government. They're literally selling off land and they're not growing anything on it. You know, we need our farmers growing food to feed Americans when the currency collapses, but they're selling off land. China's buying it up and they're not growing anything. All the farmers around here talk about it. They're just buying up land and doing nothing with it. You know, the land that's either needs to have GMO corn that nobody, not even animals, should eat, or it's got to have soy, GMO soy. It's all got to be full of pesticide, or it's going to have to just be a grass field for feeding cattle or something. Why? Because starving people will do whatever the plantation tells them to. You need your people in fear and starving. If small farmers start buying up land and growing food for you, that means you'd actually be able to say, no, I don't think we're going to continue with this not having a government thing. As long as people are scared, they'll keep voting, and that's what that's all about. I'm not worried about Japan. Japan's on the other side of the world, and I'm not so worried about China buying land here. China doesn't buy the land without consent of the United States government, right? Because it's not the United States government. It's the United States corporation, and it's owned by people who are international bankers. That's why you don't have to worry about Russian collusion. The Russians didn't collude. You don't have to worry about Russians colluding because the only thing that's colluding is the central banks who actually own your nation. They bought it in 1913. What else we got? Anything important? Opioid distributors propose 10 billion settlement to weasel out of lawsuits, right? Why are they proposing a 10 billion settlement? And should we trust that? They murdered how many Americans? How many Americans have been murdered by opioids so far? By corporations that never see justice, that you trust with vaccinations and Tylenol and headache medicine and foot powder? How many? Right? They probably made hundreds of billions of dollars and killing, murdering Americans in opioid. That's called treason, right? So the politicians take the money from Big Pharma, they wrote the laws, they allowed them to sell their opioid drugs, all these Americans died, and they're not doing anything about it. It's because you're voting. I had to do anything about it. They literally don't have to, and it would be stupid for them too. They're getting a great retirement because you believe them. So yeah, why would you trust their 10 billion settlement? If they're trying to settle for 10 billion, they made a lot more. Common sense. We don't need a Department of Education. We need a Department of Common Sense. Actually, never mind, no, we don't. First of all, it's unconstitutional to have any of the damn departments. And number two, whatever they call it, it's going to be the exact opposite. But can they take any more common sense out of America? Like, we're at a common sense apocalypse. I'm not sure they can take any more common sense out. All right, what else we got? Very bizarre finger wrestling championship. That sounds important, but I'm not going to click on it. Cybersecurity with Huawei chief. Okay, well, I'm not. If you're the Huawei chief, you're not interested in security. That's the big company rolling out 5G, spying on everybody for China, and Cisco and Siemens are the ones spying for the American plantation masters. I don't want to hear you talk anything about security. You're actually the problem. You are the security breach. U.S. revokes visas for seized tanker crew. Ups tensions with Iran. Well, we want to go invade Iran, and I think we got a sense of possibly might be a piece of why, right? It's because you have Zionists that are killing Jews all over the planet, right? The Zionists are staging a coup of the Jewish faith, and so they're going to go anywhere Jews are. The biggest Jew population was in Israel. They've taken over Israel. They beat the Jews. They spray them with water hoses, and they run over horses every day. And they got to get rid of the rest of the people who actually believe in the Torah, that they're not supposed to have a land. They're supposed to love everybody. You're supposed to feed everybody, do all these sweet things till the guy comes back. But you got these people who are just crazy and don't really get the difference between being a Jew and a Zionist. The Zionist doesn't even believe in the Torah, and the Jews told you that. But that's why we're going to Iran, because the second largest population of Jews on the planet that believe in the Torah, that will tell you the Zionists are in defiance to God by actually owning Israel and destroying Palestine and the West Bank, are in Iran. So of course America, the big dummy in the room, the big stupid pit bull, gorilla is hired to go risk and kill its sons and daughters to destroy a land to enslave the Jews in Iran and everybody else too. It's not just about the Jews, but if you want to stage a coup in a religion and take over it and convince everybody that the Torah is stupid and they can rewrite it how they rewrote the Bible and everything else, you got to destroy everybody who believes in it, everybody who will speak against it, and the Jews in Israel will tell you that. You have the rabbis who explain to you how they're in defiance of the Torah just by pretending they own Israel. Israel literally does not exist. It doesn't exist. And the God that oversees, literally has got to be a little moody about it. Got to be a little moody. So they get on this whole anti-Semitism thing. They do it and they play with you because you're silly and stupid. You never actually read the Old Testament or the Torah. All right, let's keep going. So that's all Iran is about. Iran, to me, I think it's about the Jews, probably about oil, minerals, other things, stealing land, blowing up stuff, install a Rothschild bank because they don't have one. It has nothing to do with freedom, democracy. Do you actually think the Pentagon is scared of Iran? Do you really think Iran is a threat to the Pentagon? People believe silly stuff. All right, let's keep going. I'm not seeing anything important. Was Epstein's Madame spotted at LA fast food joint? Probably. Yeah, he was getting some food. She was getting some food for him. she was going down to Burger King and get some food for her. Let me see. Google, because he ain't dead. Google tracks users on 75% of porn sites. Of course, but that's not really news. That's that brother I like too. It's not really news. They track you on everything. They're not interested in porn sites. They're interested in your site. They're interested in you, your house, your car, where you go, where you eat, who you eat it with, right? We are in a policed security state. That's why no lives matter, and they want to know everything because they want to know what you're up to. An empire needs a police state. It's a damn requirement. No, your life does not get to matter if you vote Democrat. No, your life is going to matter less when you cast that ballot, all right? Your life is going to matter less when the Republicans cast the ballot too. Because your life can't matter in an empire. Your voice can't matter, your life can't matter. The only thing that matters to an empire is the empire. That's it. And I think Americans are being starved into joining the military anyway. So I think that's probably what that's part of. Merkel plans to reject Bojo's Brexit renegotiation bid. Possibly, perhaps. I don't know. Merkel is not for Brexit, right? Like she's faking the funk like she's for it. I'm all for it. I'm always for break every nation up, break every empire up, break every state up, break them all up. We need to go back to tribal living. When you go back to tribal living, you can't have world wars. Where does Google secretly rank RT and CNN? Not interested in that. Google's fighting with them, and I get that. Love RT. Well, I like RT. But once again, it's still media, and as long as they get money from somebody, there's something that they won't say. I just think they say a lot more truth than I need to see than all the other stations. Let me see. NATO fighter attacked by Russian plane. I don't know. Exclusive president ousted by U.S.-led coup tells all. Ooh, colonization! Let's talk colonization because we got the big house behind it. We got to talk colonization because some people, they don't know that we're still colonizing. They literally think. It's funny to me. What is this? An air conditioner. Okay, well, I don't have nothing bad to say about it. It's just funny to me, like on Columbus Day, everybody hates Columbus, but on Election Day, everybody votes for Columbus. Like, it's funny to me, like Columbus Day, like, he's a colonizer, he discovered America. I'm like, I know, but didn't you just vote to invade Iran? Didn't you just vote to invade the two parties that are colonizing on every continent right now with banks and finance and debt? Those colonized, aren't you voting for them? So why are you talking about Columbus? I don't want to hear nothing on Columbus Day. Nothing. If you got the I voted sticker, just say I voted for Columbus and shut up on Columbus Day. You're literally voting for Columbus.
We begin our A block today with Honduras. Those of us who hail from Latin America, those of us who come from places like, in my case, Cuba, know very well that for more than 100 years, the CIA has chosen who gets elected, who gets removed, and even who lives or dies throughout Central and South America. This is a fact. You could find it in an easy Google search, I think. The list is much too long. It involves Chile, where they, well, assassinated Allende, right? Democratically elected president, Panama, Colombia, the Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Nicaragua. I could go on and on, listing places where the CIA has, manifested coups, started civil wars, sent in the Marines to just out and out remove or kill an elected official. It's part of our history. We all know it, and it's ugly. And it's also true. But many believe that since the church committee...
Pause. It's true, it's ugly, but we don't all know it. No, we got some sellouts who seem to think that they have no idea. That's why almost every day I'll mention Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I'll mention, who's that? John Perkins, who wrote that. And I'll mention General Smedley, Wars of Racket. No, people don't know this. They literally hate Columbus. And I believe this to be true. They don't like Columbus. They don't like Columbus at all. They don't like him at all. They hate Columbus. But they love colonization. They love colonization because they don't know. They have no idea. They love colonization as a model in the political parties in the nation that's doing it. But they have no idea what we've done in Latin America. They have no idea we put children, activists, young people who are trying to own their nation and control their land and create their own government. We used to literally, the CIA used to go down there and put these kids on helicopters and kick them off. Yeah, we did that. And we're doing that still today. They never stop, right? They're about destroying nations. It's all about minerals and resources and colonization. We've always been up to it. So yeah, I agree. It's ugly, it's dirty, and it's foul. But not everybody knows this. Not everybody knows what we've been up to. Because they obviously hate Columbus, but they love colonization and they love killing.
Which was in what, 1975, right?
They love to kill.
That's where the CIA was basically called on by Congress, and it vowed to stop doing that. And most people think it actually did stop.
I'm sorry. The CIA. Wow. Where's that clip? Who was the guy who said we literally in the CIA, we lied, cheated, and stole? That's all we. He said we lied, cheated. Somebody can post a link, but they made a vow. We ain't gonna do it no more. We sorry. We sorry. We ain't gonna. That's like these Democrats and Republicans took all that money from the war industrial complex, been voting for war since they've been in office, and all of a sudden, the flip of a dime, war's not popular. Now, click, we ain't gonna do it no more. We done. We ain't. Hashtag Bernie Sanders. I know. Hashtag Kamala. Look at people upset. Hashtag Trump. We gonna make America great again. But I was born a millionaire and I believe in green. They ain't gonna do it. Listen, these people did what they believed in, and they're going to keep doing it. They can give you all the vows and promises they want, and it doesn't really matter. And I don't know anything about Marianne. People say Marianne Wood, but she never voted for war. All the rest of them did. All the rest of them got money from the military-industrial complex, murdering people all over the planet, dropping bombs on kids. But even with Marianne, it doesn't really matter if you get one good one in a corrupt government. Why would you vote to put one good person in a corrupt government that's colonized? Why? You got to have some ethics. You got to have some morals. You got to have core values as a human freaking being, a biological creature. So you don't trust their vows. And that's outside of the fact that you have empirical evidence, election after election after election after election after election. They don't stop. They don't care what you think. They don't stop, right? Why did Obama win? He was biggest anti-war voice at the time. And what happened? More war. Why did Trump win? He was the biggest anti-war voice at the time. What happened? More war. Still dropping bombs on kids. At some point in time, y'all got to get a clue. At some point in time, you got to stop trusting the vow of Master. Master doesn't care if you believe in his vows. Master only care about one thing. You pick that cotton, and we get more land in Greenland and other places, put more cotton plantations up. That's all they care about is enslaving the human race. All right.
Doing that. The fact of the matter is, it didn't. Case in point, the coup that removed an elected president from Honduras in 2009. Here now is news with Rick Sanchez, correspondent.
Hang on, I'm gonna pause for a second. Everybody, this is the point where you start sharing on your timeline. Okay, this is the point when you share on your friend's timeline. You're fighting about immigration. You're trying to tell them how immigration works, why it's a problem for you. Because you're scared of people running in the border, and the other people are scared we need to let the people in the border, and nobody's talking about we keep blowing their countries up. This is the time where you tag them and you invite them, or you share it to their timeline so they can understand that we are colonizers. We destroy nations and people can't live there. And when we destroy the nation, bipartisan, Democrat and Republican, and most of Western governments in Europe, people have to literally leave the land we destroy. Okay? They can't stay there. They gotta go. We are the cause of human migration, and they blame climate change, and they're messing with geoweapons anyway. We ain't gonna touch that. This is the time where you bring them in, because they need to understand that immigration isn't broken. They break nations and people can't stay there. You want to fix immigration? Stop breaking their nation. But they won't do that for what Courtney just said. They're junkies. They're little junkies for destroying nations, colonizing, and stealing and looting what everybody has. This is why the kids in the inner city do it. I was upset this weekend. I know. I done had a post on them. I done lost me some friends this weekend, but baby, I ain't here to make no friends. I get pissed off because the kids ain't doing nothing different than this. This is it right here. You're fighting over territories, and so are the kids. And the kids grow up and they join a gang to fight over territory. Why? Because the parents vote for it. Now the parents are cowards. They don't pick up the gun at night and go do it their damn self, but the kids do. The kids are just mimicking you. You have a thug mentality and you have gang violence on your heart, and they can't see and feel it. The energy is still there. All that negative energy. If you vote, all right, I'm gonna get upset. I'll be here for all day. As I talk about, this is why I'll never blame kids. I never blame youth. There ain't a kid in prison that should be there, because all they're doing is replicating what their foolish parents are doing with voting levers.
Michelle Greenstein.
In Honduras, protesters nationwide demanding the resignation of their president, Juan Orlando Hernandez. They fill the streets with signs calling him a narco-dictator. Narco because he's been recently implicated in a drug trafficking scandal. Dictator because many see his election as illegitimate. Police meet the protesters with tear gas and bullets. This current surge of demonstrations led by...
All right, no, we're the people who are saying, well, they need to fix their own country. So why would there be so much corruption in every single Latin American country where they can't even build up their own nation? Because of the war on drugs, and that's why they call them narco. Well, that's their problem. They have a drug problem. No, they don't. We have a grow the hell up problem. We have a literal war on drugs, which is just natural medicine that all the people in this nation need. And that's why all the people over there are growing it, because you can't grow it here because everything's monitored. So they grow it there. It creates these corrupt, powerful leaders. Money exists. America keeps destroying their government, so they don't have any type of security or sustainability in government that the people run. And so because we got the war on drugs, we are literally empowering cartels and these narco kings in every nation, right? We did this. This is our mess. This is our milk. We need to clean it up. That's why I say you end the war on drugs. You know, you can't get freedom in a nation where you've got massive drug lords working with America and the CIA that have billions of dollars that buy tanks and special forces, airplanes and drones. Those people can't have any freedom because we don't give a damn about them. We're too apathetic fighting Trump and fighting the Democrats, instead of growing the hell up and actually doing the right thing and just walking away from the system until they do anything sentient.
Students, teachers, and medical workers is a reaction to proposals to further privatize education and health services, and are just the latest in many waves of protests since the 2009 military coup against President Jose Manuel Zelaya. Despite a wealthy background, Zelaya moves his government to the left during his tenure. The administration builds new schools, provides students with free lunch, and creates pensions for the elderly. He raises the minimum wage and even distributes energy-saving light bulbs. In 2008, Zelaya joins the Bolivarian Alliance for the Americas, or ALBA, which positions itself as an anti-imperialist group of countries working towards an alternative to neoliberalism. June 28, 2009. It's 5:30 a.m. and heavily armed soldiers depose President Zelaya while he's in his pajamas. U.S. President Barack Obama calls it an illegal coup and says that it would be a terrible precedent if we start moving backwards into the era in which we are seeing military coups. But then something interesting happens. His Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, says that the United States is not going to formally call the event a military coup. The Obama administration is pressured to put the democratically elected president back in power, but fails to do so. Under the new government, schools get privatized, mining on indigenous lands increases, and violence intensifies. The homicide rate increases 50% from 2008 to 2011. Labor leaders get assassinated. Thousands of indigenous leaders, journalists,
Did y'all see that? This is like, I didn't even know about this one. This is news to me. This is what I'm saying. Your presidents don't actually have any power, but he just didn't get the email yet. Basically, all of this stuff, all the killing and murdering and political prisoners and all this stuff, they became America. They became America because America was behind the coup. That's why. The Rothschilds call these shots or some minerals or something that they need down there is behind the. Not even gonna go there. See, this is just history repeating itself. That's all it is, and it keeps repeating itself because we keep voting for these colonizers. Doesn't matter if you have a good person. Maybe in the goodness of Barack's heart, he was like, "This is bad," but then he got the emails like, "This is okay," because Clinton reminded him. But this is what I love, and we have so many examples of this. From Trump to Obama to all the presidents, they speak out of turn. They say something that's like common sense, and they get pulled back by somebody. But you still think it matters who's president. This is why I'm saying in terms of grow the hell up. Open your eyes and pay attention to how the world really works. It doesn't work how the television tells you it does. It doesn't work how you think and want it to. If something gets you upset on television, you need to turn it off because usually it's getting you upset about the wrong.
Environmentalists, judges, and human rights activists have also been murdered since the coup.
Oh, yeah.
A 2015 survey ranks Honduras as one of the top 5 deadliest places to be a woman. And Global Witness says Honduras is the deadliest country in the world for environmental activism.
If I'm not mistaken, Honduras is the place where they created the word femicide, right? I know what femicide is. We did a video about it a while back. Femicide is it has to do with genocide against the feminine side, the females, right? It's the only nation in the world that so many women are getting killed. What is it? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Something like less than 5% of abuse and murder of women even gets investigated. We did that. We did that. And this is why it's ridiculous that anybody would say they're leaving Honduras because someone's paying them to. Now, maybe somebody gave them some money for some bus tickets. They're leaving Honduras because maybe they're tired of being raped, right? And you have to be a cold, heartless bastard after you actually understand what happens in these countries and what we do to guess. Come up with a narrative that suits your political agenda. To use rape, murder, and femicide as a political agenda for your disaster capitalism. That's evil. It doesn't get any more evil than that.
Even Human Rights Watch, which many criticize as an outfit that neglects to condemn U.S. policy, reports that, quote, impunity for human rights abuses remain the norm and that the judiciary and police remain largely ineffective. The result? A nation in chaos. The slow destruction of the state and the rule of law since 2009 allows drug traffickers, often in collusion with the military and police, to run rampant. The U.S. even increases its arms sales to the country in recent years, approving between 2 and 4 million in gun sales a year to Honduras between 2015 and 2017.
Can we just call that jobs for rape? Jobs for raping entire nations of women? This is why I'm saying it's ridiculous. You see stats like that and you're like, we need gun control. Do you realize going to the biggest gun dealer in the world is the dumbest idea you've had yet? We don't give a damn about the guns, and we don't give a damn about women. And they could stop it overnight. They could stop it all. They could stop sending the weapons, and they can end the war on drugs. Last time I saw a statistic, the majority of the cocaine, like 80% of the cocaine that comes into the United States comes from Honduras. 80%. This is why there's no stability. We keep blowing the nation up. We keep toppling the government, and we, through the war on drugs, are guaranteeing that the cartels and the warlords have the right to buy the government, kill government as they need to, and own the police. We did that. This is us. This is all us. 100. And besides the fact, if I'm not mistaken, cocaine is medicinal. Okay? Cocaine is medicinal. Most of your politicians do it, and most of the people in Hollywood do it. If you don't believe me, you need to talk to some politicians or people in Hollywood. If you don't know you a few elites that you can talk off the record with, you need to find some.
These weapons end up in both the hands of criminals via corrupt military officers and the police, who then turn those guns on civilians. At the same time, the United States military footprint in the country grows bigger. And overall, while the situation in Honduras may be a strategic victory for the United States, it seems to be a disaster for its people. For the News with Rick Sanchez, Michelle Greenstein, RT.
Because we don't give
Now,
a damn.
as you just saw in
Americans got $5 lattes. They need to go vote. Their party's gonna win. They need ego hits. They need to brag around a vindicator that their party and their politicians won. Americans don't give two damns. They're the most apathetic, psychopathic generation ever. The world's coming to an end, and we are leading the charge.
in Michelle's report, this all started going sour when the former president of Honduras, who, by the way, is a man named Manuel Zelaya, as you heard in her report, he wanted to reform the country. He says he just wanted to give more of its resources back to the people of Honduras, at the expense, though, of foreign conglomerates, most of which are based here in the United States and that wield a lot of power in Washington. And many believe that is what set forth the coup d'etat that literally deposed Zelaya.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. You can watch the rest of it. Bottom line is it's what we always do. It's what we always do. Just sound Venezuela. What was the leader doing? The leader was giving the resources back to the people. The leader was actually, and this is why I have the stance that I do on not owning anything. I don't think we own anything, and I don't think we should own anything. I don't think we should own land. I think we should steward land. I think we should take care of land. Land is an ecosystem that the monkeys, the bears, the birds, the bees, the humans, everything needs to thrive with. You shouldn't own land. But these corporations don't like anytime a leader jumps up like Chavez or this guy and wants to give the land back to the ecosystem, back to the people. Anytime they want to do what Jesus told you to do, which was to be a steward of the Garden of Eden, this Eden garden, this ecosystem that everything needs. Anytime a leader tries to do that, CIA blows it up. Why? Because corporations pay them to. Corporations get big money on owning things that nothing should own. And that's what's bringing about the end of the world. That's what's destroying ecosystems, but the world gonna be okay. It's just us that's gonna go away. Slave plantation. Slave plantation. Don't ever trust the masters. Stop believing the people holding the whips. And damn sure don't read the plantation news. The plantation news is for the plantation only. It's not for you. Not for you. But that's the same narrative. I'll post a link. You can watch the whole thing. I have to get going, so I can't spend a whole lot of time on that. But the bottom line is the same thing. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. U.S. fruit, Chiquita banana, over and over. Colonization, destroying people's land. And that's why they hate you. They don't hate you for your freedom. They hate you because you're free, dumb. They hate you because you're not free, but you're dumb. That's the only reason they hate you. You're destroying their nations. That's why human migration happens. All right, I'm gonna have to get out of here. We're gonna do some comments and then I'm gonna roll. Oh God, they give a damn if coffee on the plantation was on the prohibition list. Yeah, they would, Jeannie. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. As long as coffee is cheap, they're good to go. They don't mind that people get paid a penny on $1 of coffee in the United States. Like in the United States, when a cup of coffee sells for $1, 1 penny goes back to the slaves that actually grew it in Latin America. Why? Because we keep destroying their nations. They have no economy. And they don't have a government that can actually fight for any sort of equal trade or anything. Like, they're literally slave colonies of the United States. And the United States is a slave colony of Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and central banking. Gaddafi gave back to the people too, which makes sense, Patricia. And Gaddafi was going to create a gold-based currency in Africa. You can't have that. Not when Rothschilds and Rockefellers and bank empires run everything. You can't create a gold-based currency. That would have freed the continent of Africa. That would have lifted them up to some sort of a stance of Saudi Arabia. And as in using America as your thugs around the world, you can't have a Saudi Arabia with big money, and Africa with its own currency and big money, and Russia too. So yeah, so what you do is you find yourself a black president, you put him in office, and you get people to cheer for creating slaves out of the continent of Africa by killing Gaddafi. And that's why you had a black president. I used to think it was because people don't care about race anymore. That's not true. Americans' race has always been all sides. I'm not picking one side, it's all sides. But it had nothing to do with that. It just had to do with the fact that more people would think that sending AFRICOM to Africa with a president who had black skin wasn't going to restart slavery, that it was a good idea. Come to find out, Gaddafi was trying to take care of his people and trying to take care of the continent of Africa. Was he a good man? No. What leader is a good, what person who wants to control your life is a good person? There you go. There's an angry face. There's Obama. Hey, Obama voter, how y'all doing? Hey, listen, but you tried. I give you that. I give Trump voters and Obama voters this. They voted for the biggest speaking anti-war candidate of that time. But the problem is your system's corrupt. It doesn't matter if you put good people in. One side thinks Obama was good. The other side still thinks Trump is good. Doesn't matter. And I view Ocasio and AOC and Biden and Clinton and all the rest of you people need to figure it out too. You can't take one good apple and put it on a corrupt, dirty apple tree that's funky and moldy and falling apart. You ever get, what is it, India rust? What's that rust on the apple tree? I know there's little garden stuff coming up. If you got mold on the apple tree, you can put a nice, shiny, clean apple and just attach it to a branch. If all the other apples are moldy, it's going to spread to that apple. You have to change the system. You can't change the apple or the politician. It's the system that's sick. All right. But that's why they killed Gaddafi. Because they did the same thing that they're doing in Latin America, they want to do in Africa. And they've been doing it in Africa, but they want to get better at it, right? You have some African nations that are lifting themselves up. The problem with Africa and Latin America is they're resource rich. They got that coltan, that tin, and all the minerals they need for the drones and the killer robots they're going to unleash on you. All right. Berta Cáceres, Honduran activist, was assassinated as a result of that coup. Clinton champion. We don't care. We don't want them to own their land. We want them to be slaves like us. And as long as Americans have the slave mentality, the colonizer mentality, the Columbus mentality, both parties, and they allow their parties to do these things, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like I said, I know for a fact they're good politicians. I know for a fact. I won't give you no names, but they're not in positions of power. And off the record, they will explain to you how things actually work. Just go talk to them. But that actually is a good thing, and I'll be honest with you. I had a conversation, kind of gave me a little, like, this much more hope. And there's a couple politicians that are actually, they're not playing party. They're literally waiting in the wings for Americans to get a clue. And I think that might actually be the only political way out, is if you get rid of the corrupt ones that have been there for so long, you get rid of the ones that are on TV, because those are the ones that are taking the big money. That's why they're on TV. They literally buy the reporters and send them to go do stories so y'all can see them speaking. The ones who are like, feed the people. Leave Latin America alone. Leave Africa alone. We got problems here. I got potholes here, still ain't fixed. What is it? It's August? I still got potholes. I tried to work. I got to duck and dodge all these potholes because nobody's fixing them. Because damaged cars make a lot of money for the auto industry, and the auto industry needs money. They make money on the service, and so do the tire companies. But we're spending all this money all over the world to destroy other nations, and nothing's happening here. We're a slave plantation. We got to stop acting like slaves. They hate you because you're greedy and evil. Yes, Lori, I 100% agree. That's the only reason the world hates us, is because we can't get a clue. We're the most immature, childish, foolish, psychopathic nation on the planet because we're not actually owned. We don't own ourselves. We don't have a functioning government. It's not like the leaders didn't lie. They told you that. Yes, 42 tons of Gaddafi gold dinar that magically disappeared. That's how it goes, Patricia. Hey! When Obama first ran, my kid's teacher told the class he was going to vote for him. Why? Because he's black. Had to explain how racist that was. Courtney, see, this is what I'm saying. And people are like, that's not racist. That's literally racist. That's that's the definition right there. I'm gonna do something for or against somebody because of the color of their skin. And that's the scary thing, because people actually speak popular racism. Like, they speak, I don't know if you call it popular or well-meaning racism, whatever. It's racism. You're using race to make a decision, and it's the dumbest thing on the planet. Because one, first of all, race isn't even scientific. Number one. Two, you don't know anything about anybody by the color of their skin. You know absolutely nothing. Not zero. You don't know anything about anyone. And that's what I mean. That's how I know we're a slave plantation, because you have so many people who demonstrate the slave mentality, this mind that just, it can't see anything critical thought. It only sees what the TV tells it, and it speaks to narratives given to it by the slave master. It's a scary thing. It's scary times to be in. Very scary times to be in. But I laugh it off. I laugh it off because, like I said, I'm a laugh to the end of the world. I am. It's funny to me. I just, like, you see the gangs doing the same thing the parents are doing, and the parents are like, y'all need to stop being gang members. And it's just like, oh Lord. I don't even know what else to say. I'll read the comments. Ex-politician Ron Paul tells it. Yeah, and that's why I think he tells it, Lori, a lot more. But he told it the whole time. They wouldn't put him on TV. He'd get on TV because he was the crazy guy. As long as everyone thought Ron Paul was the crazy guy, he said in the CIA, in the IRS, in the FBI, he said shut it all down in the Federal Reserve. He said all the things that people are really starting to get now. And I didn't even get all the things he said when he said it. They just said, oh, he's crazy. We can't do that. And the man actually was right. I love Cynthia McKinney. Yeah. I just love her. Yeah, Cynthia's off the hook. And you know Cynthia's off the hook because they chased her out the country. That's how you know the politicians that are fighting for you. They're either waiting in the wings quiet and not saying anything except for to you off record, or they're going to kick them the hell out the country, or they murder them. That's it. That's why I said we can stop with the whole Trump is fighting the deep state. He ain't fighting the deep, he's fighting the deep state as much as Obama was. Roads are awful here in Alameda County. I still go around potholes that get filled because animal of habit. Yeah, you know what, Jeannie? But here, it's a crime to fill the potholes. Literally down the street, there's an old guy. He got sick of it. He filled the pothole. and how'd the story go? Before, so he complained week after week after week after week they wouldn't fix the pothole. So he got a bag of rocks and filled it in. And before they go to fix the pothole, the police were already there to give him a citation. Hashtag oligarchy. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make it up. No truth allowed in the U.S. No, truth is not allowed in the U.S., Patricia. Not unless it has absolutely nothing to do with profit. If it's something true like grass is green, you can say that. If it's anything like you need to let your grass grow beyond 7 inches because the pollinators literally don't have food when you have grass laws, you can't say that. You can't say that, one, because big oil needs you to use your lawnmower. They're making big money on that, and they're buying politicians. Monsanto and the chemical companies need to use pesticides, so they need all the bugs to die. So if you let your grass grow above 7 inches, it kills the predator insects. So you need pesticides. The price, the food industry, they need the price of food to be high. So if there are lesser pollinators around, less bees that actually eat on all the wild flowers that grow in grass when you let it grow above 7 inches, then food prices go down. They can't let food prices go down. They need them to go up, so you need to kill off the pollinators. So it's just like, this is the little silly world we live in. It's just an oligarchy. Remember, if it makes profit, it's true. If it doesn't make profit, it's false. That's why you can ignore everything you see on the television. Anything they want to prohibit just means they're all ready to take over the black market and get gangster there. Exactly, Jeannie, and that's the whole war on drugs and what it's all about. We all know that now. It's about keeping natural foods and natural medicine from people so they become sicker, their bodies don't operate easily, they get dis-ease by separating them from compounds from plants that they used to eat for millions of years, and then selling them synthetic drugs. And then you have the negative externalities of us drinking back in the Viagra your neighbor cussed out because the water treatment's not designed to take it out the water. That's an oligarchy. Need to do a vid on disaster capitalism, including war orphans for sale. Yes, Patricia, and isn't that like the number one profits of war? The number one spoils of war have always been women and children, slaves. That was why wars were fought in the past, because you get women, slavery, rape. That's why I say war is rape. War is rape and war is slavery. People are still voting for it, so apparently it's true. It's good. It's good. It makes profit, and so they keep doing it. But it's disaster capitalism. We do need to do a disaster capitalism talk, because everything is a disaster capitalist. Like every time there's a mass shooting, people jump up with their political agenda. They don't give two damns about the people who die, if anybody dies, if it's a false flag or not. It doesn't really matter. They always use it for disaster capitalism. Same thing with Puerto Rico. Everywhere you look around, it's the same thing. Bad thing happens. Apathetic people who are political, who don't give two damns about anything that bad that happened to, have a political agenda to get more votes or more people on their side, and they use it to collect more energy. It's total disaster capitalism. How's that saying go? Never let a good disaster go uncapitalized, or never let a tragedy, something like that, pass by without making some profit. Something stupid like that. Goodness of Barack's heart. Puppets don't have hearts. Yeah, you might be right, Patricia. I try to give people a little something when I can. And it might just be because it's the one thing people want to hear, right? Like these politicians, they always give you just enough to keep people voting. I kind of avoided YouTube, so I got to take a look over here. People actually believe that a hungry alligator would be draining a swamp. Oh, and its survival depends on keeping it full. Go on, brother. Speak on it. Speak on it. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth. And if you're raised to be a hungry alligator, and the only thing you're raised to see is green and profit, you know what he's talking about, don't you? You're not going to get a swamp creature to drain the swamp. And it doesn't mean that Trump is a bad guy. It means he was raised to only believe in green. So of course he would. So I get people who voted for him, but they didn't want Clinton. I get people who thought they were sabotaging something. But the reality is he was raised to worship money. There's no way he's fighting for money. He was raised to worship money. There's no way he's fighting for Christ. He was raised to worship power and control. He's not fighting for America. He's just fighting for himself. That's just how it works. It is ugly, but it's true. The biggest threat to our elections do not come from Russia. They come from our own political parties. Absolutely agreed, because both political parties, Augustine, are bought and sold. They all sold everybody out to big corporations and banks. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete, proving nature's laws wrong? It learned to walk without having feet. Funny, it seems, but by keeping its dreams. Well, concrete is made by man, and everything man makes sucks, because man is the fool. Man is 98% monkey. And nature always finds a way. Nature always reclaims anything that we destroy. It learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else even cared. Tupac Shakur, the rose from the concrete. Yeah, well, rose does that. Bamboo does that. Everything destroys everything man creates, because we don't focus on the quality of things. We focus on the quantity of things. We focus on the greed and the money. That's why money needs to go away. All right, let me get out of here. Any last comment? The more I try to better myself, the more I feel my hands are tied. I watched a documentary about Africa this weekend. Well, Shelley, you change yourself from the inside, right? You change yourself from the inside, and you don't worry about what's happening in the world. You know what I mean? I mean, your hands are tied because, mainly to me, because everybody's a sovereign creature. You can't make other people do other things. You can't make other people believe anything. All you can do is modify yourself. All you can do is keep moving forward in your own human experience. And our hands are tied as a whole, right? As a whole, we don't actually control anything, but you control your own life. And so I think you live the way you're supposed to. You do what you're supposed to. You help who you're supposed to. Feed who you can. Speak about the truthful things. Develop more of a common sense by building on your community. And that's it. Then the world will go the way it's supposed to. And wherever that goes, it's going to be the right thing. If it extincts humanity or if we grow the hell up. Either way it goes, it's the right thing collectively because we're all one. All right, how you going? Y'all have a great day. This is Gerard, and enjoy your happy slave-free this Slavery Monday. And think about trust. It's a big word. I don't trust nobody. Again, I don't even trust my mama. Some things I can't trust her with. Other things I can. But trust, you don't ever trust anybody with anything. If you ain't never met the person, you ain't never seen the person, they won't call you, email you, text you back, you call them politician, the pharmaceutical industry, and they're poisoning everybody. You need to back up on that trust a little bit because they've already proven empirically they can't be trusted. All right, these people all want money. They're not evil. It's just a greedy system. Energy and money's behind everything. And they're going to do everything they can to make sure they maximize what they take in by making you stupid. You can't trust them. Gotta get going. Gerard, y'all have a wonderful day. I am out of here from the plantation. Bye-bye.